What is going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Can you hear me? Everybody can hear me. I am Johnny Martinez, and you are plugged into the Social Plug Podcast, where we connect you to level up and where we connect everybody in New Braunfels today to level up and go on to the next level. We're always highlighting and promoting small business owners and people doing extraordinary things. We are powered by Social Plug Media, and we are at Vicky's Hinterhof today in beautiful and historic downtown New Braunfels. We got a lively audience. We've been dancing, getting down. This is one of the first times we've done this, have a live studio audience, and with a special guest, Valerie T Webb. Valerie, what is going on?
What's up?
I am excited. We got food and drinks all over the place.
Yep.
Today's food and drink sponsor is none other than Les and Thrawn European Bistro in historic downtown New Braunfels, Texas. Today's episode sponsor is none other than TopFlightRealtyGroup.com. So we're excited to put together this podcast. It's been a long time coming. We have seen you on The Voice.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen your journey. We've seen your story. You're doing a lot of historic things, a lot of amazing things.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to deep dive into your journey, your story, and what you got going on beyond just today. All right. So thank you for being on the show. You're a leader. You're an influencer. You're a mentor. You're a worship arts director. You're a singer. You're a professional background vocalist. Now you're a New Braunfels resident.
Yeah.
We're excited about that. You're a mom. You're a wife. And my God, you are a rising star. All right. So you are going on another level that we never even knew this was going to happen before. All right. So thanks for being on the show. We have a lot to cover today. We're excited. So you're from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes.
Born and raised. You lived there for about 42 years. Correct?
Yeah, forever.
Your entire life.
Yes.
All right. So you grew up there and you were singing and you had all kinds of things going on. But what made you decide to move to New Braunfels, Texas?
Well, New Braunfels, Texas was not on my radar originally, and I'm sure there's many people that can probably identify with what I'm about to say, but a man happened. That's how I got here.
A man.
A man.
Who is this man?
He's my husband. I moved here after we got married. We met and we married pretty quickly. And then next thing I knew, I was moving to New Braunfels, Texas.
So this is a life-changing thing.
It's a very much so life-changing thing, yes.
So your life completely changed.
Yes.
Being from Birmingham, Alabama. You had to leave your family, friends,
Yes.
your whole network, your
Yes.
job, your career.
All of the above.
And you're here. So how do you like New Braunfels so far?
So I'll be honest, when I first got here, because as you said, I was in Alabama as a resident for 42 years, right? And so the shock and awe, because it was both, it was a shock, but it was also awe, that kind of for the first year I had to acclimate and adjust to just simply living in a new place. I had left my network. There were friends, family, so many things that I left behind in Alabama, left my job in order to make the move as well, which I was doing pretty well. And so when you make a move like that, you have to really get okay with your decision, even after you've made the decision. So getting here and taking the first year and just acclimating to the place I would call my new home, it was a challenge at first. And now I have fully embraced Texas as my new home.
So how did your family feel about you moving? They were like, Val, you've been here your whole life. Why are you moving to Texas?
My family was supportive, of course, because they knew that it came with a life changing experience like marriage, getting married and being willing to make the move was a huge step for me. I had always thought I would move outside of Alabama, but I thought it would be career related first versus relationship. And so my family was supportive. They've always been supportive, although there was a little apprehension because it's like, oh my gosh, you're going to be so far away. But they've been totally supportive of the decision.
That's awesome. So your husband is also in the music industry.
He is, yes.
Okay. And what does he do?
So he's an artist. He writes music. He's a singer-songwriter. He also is a minister of music at the church that he's at, which is Covenant Community Church in San Antonio.
So you're the worship arts director at Northeast Bible Church in Garden Ridge.
Yes.
So we've had some people that reached out to me and said, oh my God, her voice is amazing.
Oh, wow.
She's great. And you're a good human being. And, besides being a singer, you do good things and you make an impact in the lives of others. So how has the ministry changed you?
Well, I've worked in ministry over half my life. I started working in ministry fairly early. I was probably when I first got my first staff position, and I say staff position because I was working before I actually became a staff person. But my first actual paid responsibility in ministry, I was about 16, maybe. I'm now 44, so that's how many years I have been involved consistently in ministry. How has ministry changed me? There is a responsibility and an accountability to that platform, for one. And I call it a platform because you are before people. You are leading people not just into worship, but you are also shepherding and pastoring the people that are in your department. And you are also responsible for when they have life experiences that they need someone to be there for them, for you're part of that go-to person that they go to outside of, just being their worship leader. So there's a responsibility that comes with being in ministry. There's an accountability, there's integrity, there's a number of things that you want to maintain, so that you don't not only lose respect of those people that look to you, but don't lose respect for yourself. You want to live up to the expectation that you have for yourself. And I have one for myself. Yeah.
So I love that you're a mentor and a leader within the church. So
Mhm.
people go to you for advice because you're a credible resource of information as well.
Mhm.
And you help people solve problems throughout their lives and throughout their stay at the church. So that is remarkable as well. Because a lot of people don't really realize that people in the church community are leaders, they're
Yep.
influencers,
Yep.
and people go to them for guidance and advice, marital advice,
Mhm.
relationship advice, just
Mhm.
things going on in their life.
Mhm.
Because everybody needs some kind of foundation.
Yep.
And I think the church was one of those foundations. So thank you for making an impact
Thank you.
in that community. A lot of people love you for that.
Thank you.
So let's kind of fast forward. You had the recent opportunity to come on NBC's The Voice,
Yeah.
which not a lot of people have that opportunity because everybody thinks they can sing, right? I mean,
A lot
in
of
the
people do,
shower
yes.
or at
And
the,
probably can.
they probably can. There's
Yeah.
different levels of being singer, backup vocalist, and all these things. But it takes a lot of courage and a lot of support from family
Mhm.
to go on to something like The Voice, which is mainstream. It's
Mhm.
national, it's worldwide.
Yes.
Everybody knows what The Voice is,
Yes.
right? And so, how did you get the courage to move forward? Because I've read your story, I've seen the
Mhm.
articles. Said your son Joshua was a big part of that.
Yes.
And a lot of times when, as parents, we hear kids, Mom, you should go do that. Dad, yeah, you should go do that. You're like, yeah, okay.
Mhm.
But The Voice, that's next level.
Yep.
And being, a servant of the
Mhm.
church, and now you're going to be in the mainstream limelight
Mhm.
with lights and cameras on TV, and you seem like a very humble person. So how did that enable you to, go forward? How did your son's support and your family support enable you to go forward and, go with the plunge and go on The Voice?
So that's a really good question. It's a layered question. So I'll start with my son. My kids, period. My 20-year-old is the one that really pushed me to do it. But it's a beautiful thing as a mom to spend a lot of your time and effort and energy pouring into your children. But when they pour back into you and say, "Hey, just like you have, you see me this way and you see me in this light. This is the light that I see you in." And that's how my son Joshua pursued me with that venture. Because I was just like, I'm not the type, and it does have a lot to do with my background in ministry. I just wasn't that interested in music from a competitive standpoint. I wasn't that interested in doing it, competitively. And so he told me, because he was a big fan of The Voice, and I watched it. I watched a couple of seasons, but I just had not plugged into it as much as he had plugged into it. And he just was like, Mom, he would say it to me every year, every time it would come on. Mom, I just think you ought to do it. I think you ought to go to The Voice. I think you ought to try it. I'm like, babe, I'm just too busy, because before I got married, I was managing my household as the head of my household with me and my children. So my responsibilities were not just to the the church, but it was to my children and my children's lives. So I didn't see myself at that time, although I was managing a professional career, also as an independent artist and also as a professional background vocalist, and traveling here and there from time to time based off of when my schedule allowed. I didn't see myself going on a show like The Voice because it just didn't fit into what I was doing at the time, as a mom, as a worship leader, as a friend, as all of the roles and all of the hats that I had. I didn't see myself doing that. And he really pushed me. And once I moved to Texas and I didn't have any of that like to focus on as much because I was starting over, right? I said, okay, Josh, they're promoting, going out there and auditioning for The Voice again. I think I might do it. He was like, do it. Right. And I said, I think I might. Let's just see, since I'm not really full time at a church. I'm not currently doing this. I'm still trying to figure it out here in Texas. Maybe I've got the time to try this now. Maybe. And he was like, do it, Mom. And I went out there. I created the account. I did everything from scratch. So I'm not one of those people that have auditioned multiple times. This was literally my very first go round. So I went out there and created the account. And then the process goes online before you ever even make it to get an audition. So the online process was lengthy. That went over a couple of months before NBC approved me to even come on the show. So they weeded through thousands of people that put in to be in that audition process every year and every season. So I was blessed to make it through that process.
How cool is that your son supported you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my daughters to support me in some stuff. They're like, Dad, you'll never make it on there. You'll never make it on The Voice. So that's the difference here. You got a very supportive family. So bless your son's heart. He really he did it for you.
Yeah, he
because
did.
Without his encouragement and without his push, you might not have been where you're at today.
Yeah.
So that is very important as a parent to have your son, that he loves you and he sees, Mom, you got a gift.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And I'll give credit to Jeremiah and Jordan too. Jeremiah is my 23-year-old. Jordan is my 14-year-old. They are truly fans, not just the children of Val T Webb. They are truly they feel like their mom can do anything when it comes to this music. And so having that support, and I shared this scripture on my page, but it reminds me of the scripture in Proverbs that talks about, and her children shall call her blessed. You can work and work and work to make sure their lives are good and that be your primary focus. But when they pour that back, if I never made it as far as I did on The Voice, I would be satisfied with being able to stand up there in the blinds next to my son and push me to do something I never would have done.
Absolutely.
So I just have to give credit to all three of them.
Yeah, that's great perspective. Having your boys do that for you.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward into getting on the stage, right? So before you get on the stage, it takes a lot of mental preparation. You just don't show up and say, all right, I'm here. I made it past the first, stages. Now I'm here. I'm ready to perform. It takes skill, support, mental fitness, mental toughness, and a lot of courage and a courageous mindset.
Yes.
Because now you got all these lights. And the lights here, this is small stuff. You got these NBC people there, these affiliates. You got Dan and Shay, you got Reba, you got Chance the Rapper, and you got John Legend, and everybody who preceded them, right? These Blake Sheltons and everybody else. And you're like, holy cow, now I got to perform. And everybody's watching this, right? So what was going through your mind at that point? Were you like starstruck? Were you like so nervous that you were like, man, I'm not going to do this after all? What was going through your mind at that point?
I will say starstruck, not as much. Again, some of my experiences leading up to The Voice, I've had an opportunity to work with people on bigger platforms than I've ever been on. So I won't say starstruck, but it was definitely intimidating because of the competitive nature of what I was doing more than anything. That was intimidating, and it's a totally different stage, right? You can stand on stages. I mean, I have some of those experiences, but nothing could have prepared me to stand on the NBC The Voice stage, because it is a totally different monster. And it's not from a place of being starstruck. It is the work you put in behind the scenes. again, the competitive nature of these are now my friends, people that I'm, hanging out with.
Are
But
you a
yet,
competitor?
not like that. Not in my music. I'm not. Now, when I was heavily doing sports in school, yeah, a heavy competitor. I ran track and field. I was like, when it comes to anything, I think but my music, because music comes from a different place for me. So it's not competitive. But everything else in the work field, all types of things. Yes, I'm very much so a competitor. Yes.
So you had to compete because it's a competition. You had to
Yeah.
compete with these people.
Yeah.
So you got to get mentally fit as well
Yep.
and go up against these people, this
Yep.
Arletto and all these other people, and sing these songs that you've never sung before,
Yeah.
right? Some Whitney Houston and Deborah Cox.
Yeah.
Nobody's supposed to be here,
Yeah.
right? So that is the one that you sang that all four coaches or
Yeah.
celebrities turn around on.
Yeah.
So as you're there singing, you're deep in the weeds. You're there singing your heart out, and
Yeah.
everybody can see that. So when you got Chance the Rapper, the first person that turned around, did you notice that, or were you just kind of block all that out, or did you notice when all four turned around?
So John turned first,
Was it
then
John?
Chance. Yeah, it was
Okay.
John, Chance, and then Dan and Shay, and then Reba. And so honestly, and I shared this in an article before, I literally had to look over their heads because you see it, but you don't see it. And that was my experience. It was like I was seeing chair turn, chair turn. I was like, oh God, is this happening for real? Like halfway in the middle of it, even walking on stage, I wanted to literally tell everybody, just kidding. Because just just the pressure of the moment, you can't miss it in that moment. Once they're filming and you know that this is about to go out with your voice, your face, your family, your everything is going to be tied to this very moment. So the pressure of that, seeing them turn, I was like, just look over their heads, Val. Don't look at them. Don't engage. And so there are artists who engage. They're like, yeah, you turn for me.
I've seen that.
Yeah, you turn for me. I said, no, keep looking over their heads. Don't look. And then if you notice at the end of it, I took a deep exhale and I was like, oh my God, this just happened, right? So I looked over their heads because I felt like it was going to derail my performance.
So all kind of things are going through your head though.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people think about the worst thing that's going to happen. I'm going to go out there and bomb.
Yep.
And then they manifest, hey, I'm going to go out there and kill it. Where were you at?
Seriously, I was determined to do a great job. Now, I am hard on myself when it comes to making sure that I give what needs to be given at all times. But I was shaking. I remember my legs were shaking even when I was walking out. You can't tell. For some reason, people always are like, I cannot tell that you feel any nerves. Listen to me. My legs shook. Even when I stood up there, and the way that I control my nerves, I knew I would need to control my nerves. So the way that I started off when I did I did like a hum before we started, that got the nerves out before I started the first verse. Because what you can tend to do is if those nerves get the best of you, your first note will be shaky. So I gave myself that space to, okay, make this a musical part of your performance. Come out, hum through the first part, and then sing. That is how I control my nerves.
And it worked.
It's crazy. It was insane.
Yeah. It worked. So how was it working with, I know you worked with Chance initially.
Yes.
And then you worked with John.
Yes.
And did you work with the others?
So I didn't work with them, but I did get to have a little bit of time with each coach, just simply in filming. Filming edits a lot of what is said to you, the coachable moments and some of the things that are stated about you or to you. So we would be standing there all of about 30 minutes or more. But of course, on camera, the editing shows like a shorter version of what you get. So we got to spend good quality time with the coaches when we were standing there.
Did you learn a lot? Did you get some mentorship and some guidance and just see different perspectives?
Oh, yeah. I got lots of mentorship. There, what I appreciated that they did for me, and probably as one of the older, more seasoned contestants, they did give me some liberties and some creative space myself, which I appreciated because it wasn't just about fully all the way coaching me up, but they respected the fact that, okay, you have something to give as well. So I appreciated that. Some of the tips that I got from people like Reba, who has been doing this thing and killing it forever. Nobody's touching the queen. I think
Yeah.
some of the gems and the jewels that I got from her as the only woman on the panel was just simply amazing. I'll never ever forget that experience with Reba specifically, although she wasn't my coach. You'll notice that she never turned on me. She never turned on me, y'all.
She loved you. She was very supportive.
Did. She supported me. She just was like, hands down, Val, that's my girl.
Yeah.
She supported me, and I felt that love and that support from her at all times. I felt it from all the coaches, but she specifically, as a woman, gave me all that I needed in the form of support. John and Chance were more technical in their feedback, which I appreciated, and that's why they were my top picks for coaches, because they were more specific, not just to my genre, but to what I desire in feedback from a coach. I didn't want just the praise of, oh, girl, you can sing. I wanted them to tell me things like, yeah, right here you were pitchy, or right here.
Right.
I appreciated that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And they have a background in the church
yeah, they do both.
and in the ministry, especially
Yes.
Chance. That's
Yep.
why you chose Chance. I know
Yep.
he has a ministry in Chicago and things like that.
Yep.
So you felt that connection as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know about like everybody else's until in the moment when they all started talking about church.
Everybody started becoming a gospel singer then, right?
Everybody did, and Chance called everybody out. And he called him. He was like, "I've never heard y'all talk this much about."
He said that to Dan and Shay.
He did. He was talking about the whole panel.
Yeah.
But then I also learned that Reba, she still leads worship at her church, and so that was good to know because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an amazing experience. So your confidence level went through the roof, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it affirms more than anything that this is not just I'm good for the people that like me where I'm at. It affirms that the voice is appreciated no matter where I perform, and so that affirmation was huge.
Do you ever before The Voice, did you second guess yourself ever vocally?
Oh yeah, because I'm a critic of vocals specifically because that's just my space. I'm also a musician, but vocals, I'm critical on myself as well as the vocalists that I've worked with over a period of time. So yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about your history on being a vocalist. You've been a backup vocalist for people like Robin Thicke.
Yes.
Tony. Everybody remembers that? It feels good. Yeah. They play that at the Spurs games and everywhere. Everywhere where there's a party, it feels good. Tony, right?
Yes.
So how was that working with those kind of guys and just, fast forwarding to where you're at today? I mean,
yes. So I was just sharing this with someone that I actually work for this company called Audio State Entertainment. Dr. Henry Pangan is the owner of that. He was a former composer for Stevie Wonder. So he's also a conductor and a whole bunch of stuff. He has a long list of things. And so he would get these shows and they would give him these shows to produce, and he would call myself and his team that works for him to come in, be responsible for like the background vocalist, teaching the parts, making sure we learn everybody's music for these artists. So that's how I started working and singing background vocals behind a number of these different artists that you have, like Tony, Robin Thicke, India Ari, on the gospel side, Yolanda Adams. Some things I've done separate from that company, but that's where a lot of it came from. So working in that space, I love background vocals. I love the harmonies. I love making sure that we learn people's music right, because that is a thing when it comes to professional background vocals. You can know harmony, you can hear the song and hear it one way, but when you actually know how to get the song the way that they want it sang, that is fulfillment for artists to turn around and say, hey, thank you. You learned my song right. So I appreciate background vocals. I love it. It's something I'll probably never stop doing. going even alongside the lead vocal stuff. I always still do that.
So you love collaboration pretty
I
much.
love it.
Just
Yep.
doing it because I think we're all better together.
Yep.
Anyway, just like today.
Yep.
So what a great experience, and just giving us that little leeway into your story. I mean, that's pretty cool. Who gets to do that? So how have your opportunities changed? Because we talk about confidence and all these things, but opportunities today, because now people are learning who you are,
Yeah.
and they're learning that you have this gift and this talent that just goes beyond, the regular, everyday Joe Smo, right?
Yes.
So now you're on another level vocally. So what opportunities have been given to you?
Yeah, so I just did an engagement back in Birmingham for the Baptist Health Foundation. The ladies are Women Wine and Shoes. They have a company called WWS, and that was really cool. I went up there to do an engagement just, I think, about 2 weeks ago, but the opportunities have just been rolling in. There have been my fellow New Braunfels people who have reached out, people that I did not know. I didn't know a lot of these places existed because I haven't really fully gotten out and got to know what's around me in the form of our music scene. So I didn't know. And so a lot of people have reached out. I have a concert coming up May 3rd that's going to be at the Reserve on 1863. Going to be doing a number of things. Brontex will be later on this summer. So I'm super excited about the opportunities here in this area because I had not established myself as an artist here fully. But they're coming from multiple directions. I've had people reach out from Brazil. I recently got a message from somebody in Japan.
Wow. Yeah.
And so, and of course, we haven't talked business or talked, what that's going to look like yet, but just the responses and the opportunities have been amazing. And let me just put this out here, shameless plug. If you are a manager who wants to manage Val T Webb, I need you. I want to have a conversation with you. I don't have an acting manager at this time. I need one. I am running myself ragged. And so if you want to help me, please give me an email at valerietwebb@gmail.com.
Look at that. Look at that. Anybody in the crowd here? Everybody's like, everybody's hands raised back here. Yeah.
If y'all want to manage me, listen, let's have a conversation because I'm not too proud to beg. I need you. All right.
Because it's overwhelming sometimes. And you got people
Yes.
from Japan and all over the place, and they're going to keep coming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is overwhelming for some, but a manager is going to alleviate a lot of that stuff too.
Yes.
Jerry Salcedo and I always talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, because you need somebody to manage.
Yes.
So the opportunities are there, especially in New Braunfels. There's a lot of live music going on in New Braunfels, a lot of things. A lot of people look at New Braunfels as a small town. It is, but it's got big aspirations and big opportunities.
Yes.
There is just so many things going on in New Braunfels. So we love our live music and we love our singers and our vocalists and all that kind of stuff.
Very true.
So New Braunfels is on the map. And you put New Braunfels on the map too, on a national scale.
Y'all keep saying that.
No, just by saying. So when people look at these YouTube videos and you say, I'm Val T Webb from New Braunfels, Texas. Everybody's like, wow, okay. Not only Texas, but New Braunfels, Texas specifically.
Yeah.
So a lot of people from San Antonio and Austin come to New Braunfels, not only for business, but for entertainment and things like that.
Yes.
So you're putting us on the map as well from a national and worldwide scale.
Wow.
So, I mean, when you think about it like that, I mean, that's next level stuff.
I guess I'll take that.
Yeah. So music. I love music. My favorite era of music is the 90s, right? R&B specifically. People like Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Even R. Kelly. We talked about R. Kelly before the show.
Yeah.
People, he got in trouble, but vocally,
a lot of trouble.
Vocally, R. Kelly was one of the best in the business. And
you can't debate it.
No. And people don't sing about love anymore.
Yeah.
They don't sing about relationships and bonding and how emotionally tied you are to a woman or a woman tied to a man. There's a lot of other derivatives that come out of this music today, but the love portion is just missing.
Yeah.
So as a gospel singer, R&B singer, and a lover of the 90s music, are we missing that today?
I think there are some artists who do attempt to still give us that, but I think there has definitely been a change a little bit in the R&B soul category specifically. We don't talk as much about love. I do also believe that going back to R. Kelly, he was good for all the babies that got made.
Yep. Yep.
He was
Yeah.
good for that.
Yeah.
And I'll never discredit another artist. Your character off stage always, always, always will affect you eventually. That's why we should always work towards making sure that our character lines up with the
Mhm.
messages that we sing about. But I will never say that for me determines whether I think the man made amazing music, because he did. A bunch of our kids got here
Mhm.
as a result.
A lot of
So,
kids were born in the
a
90s.
lot of kids were born in the 90s. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We got some 90s babies in here. Andre, Kylie. Yeah.
Yeah, R. Kelly
See?
might have been somewhere in the
Yeah.
vicinity. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody had the R. Kelly music playing.
Yeah.
And Babyface, Tony,
Baby
Tony,
To-
Tony, like we said.
Yes. Yes.
Who else?
Oh,
Who? Genuine.
Yes.
Man,
Absolutely.
I had that Genuine. So Anxious. Everybody remember So Anxious?
So Anxious is a
Oh
good
man,
one.
I still
Yep.
play some So Anxious.
Yeah, that's still good. That's relevant now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't make music like that anymore.
No, not as much. I don't think so. And then I think it wasn't just the lyrics, right? It was just the whole vibe of the song.
Yeah.
It was the mood of the song. And I think that's why a lot of artists still go back and get the good 90s songs,
Mhm.
because they just put you in a mood. They put you in a good space. Some of the other songs are technically cool. They sound good. Got a lot of nice little things production wise. It's like, okay, that's hot.
Yeah.
That's fire. But it's the mood and the vibe of the
Yeah.
song for me from the 90s that really put us in a space where it was like, okay, everything's going to be all right. Go home,
Yeah.
get you a glass of wine, listen to a little 90s R&B soul, and you're good.
Yeah. Music influences in so many ways, from when we're
does.
driving
Yeah.
to sitting at home on the couch to drinking some wine to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Music sets the tone.
Yep.
And that's why I love 90s, because there was so many music that came out. And here in Texas, Tejano was big.
Mm-hmm.
Country music with George
Mhm.
Strait,
Yeah.
and beyond. You had the grunge
Uh-huh.
music, and you had the R&B,
Yeah.
and you had rap, but R&B, I still play that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, she loves all that. Joe and Jodeci
Yep.
and
Oh, Drew Hill.
Drew Hill.
Yep.
Tell me what you
You
want.
want? Come
Hey,
on,
hey, we
sing
need
it.
to get on there. Joe,
Yeah.
I wanna know. Yeah. So that, yeah. Look, hey, I'm gonna start getting all emotional over
Listen,
here.
if you know
Yeah.
anything about me, I'm one
Yeah.
of those people that will push you to carry on and keep
Yeah.
going.
Hey,
I'm
we're gonna
like,
start singing over here. I'm gonna start humming. And I'm gonna start singing over here. I'm getting ready.
do you know the moves to go with it? Like the tell me
What you want?
You gotta
I went
do
to a
the
Drew
little
Hill
hop.
concert back in the
Tell me.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Come
Jo-
on.
come and talk to me.
on.
Jodeci,
I really
come and
wanna
talk to
meet
me.
you.
Yeah. Man.
On.
See, hey, now she's putting me on the spot over here. But yeah, I love all that stuff. Man, it's I even love the females. Whitney
Oh,
Houston
yeah.
and Adina Howard and all
Yeah.
that
Oh,
kind
you're
of stuff.
going back. Deborah
Yeah.
Cox. In Vogue. Did somebody
In
say In
Vogue.
Vogue? SWV Week. Come on.
I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over me.
in a day. So
See, I forgot. I'm like, I forgot after that.
Listen, I'm over
Yeah.
here giving you a
Yeah.
beat. Come
See?
on.
Hey, everybody! I just collaborated with Val T Webb. All right, look at that. So I can put that on my resume, right?
For sure. For sure.
So music is where it's at. So
Yes.
what's next for you after after here?
Yeah.
What's going on? What do you envision yourself as a career? Are you gonna stay at the church? Are you gonna go into writing your own music?
hmm
You're gonna get into writing or having your own albums. Do you have an album, by the way?
Yes, I have gospel music out
Okay.
currently. Yes.
Okay.
I have never released an R&B song. I've collaborated with people. I have been in the background vocals on other people's projects, done lots of recording, but as far as releasing my own as an independent artist, I haven't done anything R&B soul.
Maybe you can bring R&B back, the love portion
Maybe we
of
can.
R&B,
Maybe we absolutely can.
because we need that.
We need that for sure. And I am currently working on the song that I try to do songs that are what I call life music. Life music for me is music that anybody can identify with. It is not based off necessarily just a genre, or it's not necessarily based off of whether it's Christian or not. Life music has words that, regardless of your background, something in this song you can connect to. And that's the type of music that I want to focus on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you can blaze the trail for 2025 and beyond.
Let's do it. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I got a song coming out. I have a single. It will be out. We're still deciding on the date, but it's more than likely going to be somewhere between June and July when it drops.
Okay. Is that going to be on Spotify, on
Yes.
Apple Music?
It'll
and
be
all that?
available on all digital platforms.
So where can we find you on your digital platforms right now?
Yes, so my maiden name was Smith. So all of my music is currently under Smith. So listen to this. I put T in my name because there's a country singer named Valerie Smith. And when I first released my very first single under Valerie Smith, all of my stuff with CD Baby went up under that Valerie Smith.
Ah,
So I changed it to using my middle initial, Valerie T. So that's why T is involved in everything I do now. Even since my name has changed to Webb, I still have the T in there. So you can find it up under Valerie T Smith.
on
On
Spotify.
any platform, yes.
I mean, what are some of the? I mean, Spotify,
So
Apple Music.
you've got Apple Music. You can even find it on Amazon.
Yep.
You can find it on Spotify. Any e-music, any type of digital platform is available on them all.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
So we're gonna open it up to the audience here.
Okay.
All right. So I know we got some audience members
Okay.
here that are wanting to ask you some questions.
Yes.
So we got Mr. Jerry Salcedo there that's gonna get the mic ready.
I had one more thing I wanted
Sure.
to say. I think I kind of went past this. I know you asked me would I still be working in church. So for all of my Northeast Bible Church members that may be watching, I absolutely am not going anywhere. I love my church. I will still be the worship director there. So I wanted to make it clear that I love where I am. I'm still going to be at my church. So
Awesome.
yes.
All right. So we're gonna open it up here. We're getting ready. Give us a few seconds here.
Hey, Val, first of all, man, it's been a pleasure to have you on here today. What I love is like from the moment that you walked in, I mean, you were so humble and gracious, first of all, to say, hey, I'll come on the show. You walked in and just started mingling, talking to us. I mean, just casual like the rest of us. And that's what I absolutely love. I mean, that you just came in here and you are true to who you are. So we had great conversation off camera, and I know there's tons of questions or things that from our audience, and I'm excited because this is the first time we do a live in studio audience right here. And from what I understand, your first time being on a podcast as well, correct?
Here in New Braunfels.
In
yes.
New Braunfels, Texas. Yes. So yeah, and I want to know, kind of selfishly, but does it cross your mind to think, what if I would have won The Voice?
Mm-hmm.
What would happen? Does that cross your mind at all? Do you think, you know what, beyond getting to where I got, do any of those feelings or thoughts cross your mind? And then we'll go to some questions here from the audience.
That's a good question. Of course, it's natural to wonder, man, what if I would have won this show? What would have happened, right? We know what the prize stuff is if you win, but just wondering how much more as far as opportunities and the things that you do from there, what would have been in the cards for you. So that has definitely been a thought. But my perspective is so positive as far as to where I got, being in the top 24 and the opportunities that are coming even now. I feel like being able to, for one, to be out from under the contract,
There you go.
And being on lockdown with some things that I can and cannot do is liberating. But also just being able to still be independent. I'm big on being an independent artist. I also have a course out for independent artists as well. So I'm very passionate
There we
about
go.
being independent. So my perspective is it just gave me an opportunity to meet all of you and more people that I never probably would have met had I not gone on this show. So I'm very grateful for how far I
Right.
got.
Yeah. It's blown open the connections, that's for sure. Hey, and we've probably seen on other shows before, just because you won didn't necessarily mean you're the biggest star that came from it, right?
Right.
So, hey, who knows what's going to happen? But
Yeah.
let's go to the audience right here. Who's got a question for Val T Webb in the house?
Hi, Val.
Hey.
It is so great to meet you, and we're so thankful to have you here in
Thank
New
you.
Braunfels. I have a two-part question.
Okay.
I work with youth. I'm also a single mom of a 12-year-old who is a huge fan, and I work at a high school,
Yes.
and I help out at our youth group at our church, Real Life
Yes.
church. And what is some words of advice that you would give to youth who have that aspiration, being even young, like wanting to do something like this and maybe telling someone someday, I want to be on The Voice.
Yeah.
What is some words of advice you would give them?
Have a dream, then live the dream, right? Because it's one thing to talk about what we desire and aspire to do, to always be making plans towards what we want to do, but never actually manifest that. So have the dream, but work on how you're going to manifest that. I also would encourage them to make sure that when you're working that plan, that you put things in perspective, like your priorities need to be the first priority as you're working towards that goal. Because if it only becomes your only goal, that means you are neglecting something else, right? So I would say, along with working that goal, make sure that priorities stay the priorities. And I'm telling you, when you have things in proper alignment, it is only, to the mountains of what can happen for you because you have things in proper alignment. And that's what I really believe. God will bless it. Yeah.
Well, you are definitely an anointed voice, and you are a blessing people every time you share your
you.
gift. So the second part is we can't leave here without hearing your beautiful voice. So is there your favorite song that you would love to sing for us, because we want to hear it?
Oh man. Honestly, y'all, I don't have a favorite song for real. It's so many songs. But let's see. Let me give me something. You want to throw something out there? I don't know if I'm gonna know it.
Well, yes, or even what got you the chair turns, right? Because singing it, hear it in person.
Okay.
You got some Sade?
Right.
We can do Deborah.
Yeah,
We can
okay.
do the
Okay.
I've spent all my life on a search to find the love that stays for eternity, that heaven sent to fulfill my needs. But when I turn around, again love has knocked me down. Oh, my heart got broken. It hurts so bad. I'm sad to say love wins again. So I place my heart under lock and key to take some time and take care of me. But I turned around and you're standing here. Standing here. How did you get here? No, nobody. No, no, no. Yeah. And I'll stop there.
Wow. Well, I have chills,
Hey.
chills and chills.
Great question,
I
Evelina.
want you to know that you're number one in our hearts, and you should be our winner. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're a winner with
Thank
Jesus
you.
for sure. Thank you. Thank you, Ginger. Ginger. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for blessing us.
Thank you. Thank you so
How
much.
cool was that?
Oh,
Man.
so
Oh yeah,
sweet.
Val. As we prepare for our next question from our live studio audience here, so you're growing up in Alabama,
Yeah.
now you're in Texas.
Yes.
So I don't know, are you a Texas Longhorn fan yet?
Oh,
Yeah, roll
I
tide.
like that.
mercy. So, believe it or not, I'm not really a hardcore Alabama fan either. I was an Auburn fan.
Okay.
So War Eagle to
War
the
Eagle,
Auburn
all right.
fans. Man, I don't know. I haven't really tried to figure out what I love here fully in sports yet. I do like the Cowboys. I didn't say love. I said like. I like the Cowboys. I like the Rangers. I just recently went to a Rangers game. So I haven't fully gotten into the college stuff fully yet. So I don't know. That's as far as I've gone.
Okay.
Is that okay? Am I on anybody's list now?
All right. Hey, what's up, Val?
What's up?
What's up? I'm DJ Jesse E. And like I said, my cousin introduced us earlier this week. So I'll get to do sound for you coming up May 3rd at the event you're doing at the Reserve. So make sure you guys check that out. But my question to you, I really want to know, is there a past judge from The Voice that you wish that was on it whenever you were auditioning that you could have been maybe working with or something like that, you know? Because for me, I love those old school judges, Adam Levine,
Yeah,
Blake Shelton. But
Yeah.
is there anybody particular that you wish you could have worked with that was there?
absolutely. Kelly.
Who is it?
Kelly.
Hey, all right. Kelly Clarkson. That'd have been ideal.
I love Kelly. I love the way that she coached. To me, she was very broad, which again, she wasn't just one thing. I think a lot of the coaches now are very geared towards their genre. I felt like Kelly was like, I'm here for the voice, period. Whether that is country, whether that is soul, whether it's gospel, whatever it is. She really loved multiple genres. And I love that about her because I'm a multiple genre singer.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love that. Well, look, you may not have won The Voice, but you won the hearts of New Braunfels, Texas, all the way. We are rooting for you. We're excited for you. And if there's anything any of us can do to help you progress and get to that next level, we are here for you. So
That's so
you got
sweet.
this. You got this.
I feel all the love. Thank you so much.
Hey Val, you know, one of my favorite voice performances and worship music was actually Christian Cuevas. And he's saying, "To worship you, I live."
Mhm.
Just brings you to tears the way he
Yeah.
sang that song.
Yeah.
I'm curious, who are some of your inspirations in terms of worship music? Maybe what are
Yeah.
some of the groups out there now where you kind of
Yeah.
take your inspiration from?
Yeah. So there's a number, both male and female, and even groups. I'm a huge Ty Tribbett fan. I love Ty, his creativity, his production, his band has always been just sick, ridiculous. So I love Ty Tribbett. I am also a Kirk Franklin fan. So that's some of the guys. I love Kim Burrell. Kim Burrell, from a technicality standpoint, she does runs that I feel like no one can comprehend. So she is amazing. I love Kim. I love Tamala Mann. I love Yolanda Adams. CeCe Winans, let me just talk about her for a second. She is an amazing crossover artist. She doesn't just do the gospel space. She's gospel and Christian. So, and that's what I also do, gospel and Christian. So I love the fact that she ministers to a very diverse group of people. It's not just one thing. And again, I keep emphasizing this because that is who I consider myself to be, someone that's just not, this is just the only lane I want to kind of be in. She kind of crosses over even in the Christian space. It's gospel and Christian. So CeCe, who you see is who you get. Like I've sang behind her as well. When she's on that stage, all the feels that we get when she's up there is all the feels that you get when you're just talking to her. She's a sweet spirited person, beautiful personality, and she's been that for years. So she's one of my favorite, not just vocally, but just her overall artistry. She's one of my faves.
Oh yeah, I love that. And I'm sure there's plenty out there that are saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, Val Webb is my inspiration," right?
Oh,
So yeah. And we got Kylie here in the audience. She's got a question for you as well.
Kylie.
Hi, Val. So I made the food over there. So my question is food related.
It was
So
yummy, thank you.
what is your favorite meal?
Oh, honey, let's see. Because Texas has messed me up with the food. And so, it's not fair. It's not right. It's not okay. So I love Brazilian steakhouses. I love the Brazilian, like Chamacalchi and like Galpo Gaucho. Like those places have wrecked me. Okay. I love Mexican food as well. I just had that question earlier. I love the Mexican food that's got the it's more the luxury type Mexican food that you've like never had on just like a regular taco or fajita day. It's like it takes you over into other stuff that you're like, oh, I didn't even realize this was considered Mexican. So I do like that. I'm a chicken girl. I love chicken. So it can go anywhere from going into a restaurant that's like on a back road somewhere that nobody knows where it is, all the way up to the nicest stuff. My palate is pretty broad. I like a lot of stuff. I just like to eat. I'm a foodie.
Well, you landed in the capital of barbecue in Texas, right? That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
hey, we love asking our guests here on Social Plug Podcast if there was a made-for-TV movie, who
Yeah.
was playing Val Webb in that movie?
Oh, Angela Bassett.
We could totally see that for sure. So, we have any more questions from the audience back here for Val? So, we're going to come over here real quick to Ben. All right, come on over.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Val? This is Ben.
Hey.
So I noticed that you have a big register.
Mhm.
You got low and then you go high. How many harmonies can you hit?
That's an interesting question. What do you mean? Elaborate.
Well, you know harmonies, right? So
Yeah.
you got your whatever your vocal starts with. I don't know what key it's in.
Yeah.
How many registers? So if you wanted to do harmonies, how many can you stack?
So you're talking about like in studio work?
Yep.
So I typically stack 3 to 4 per line. So if it's like soprano line, I'm gonna do 3 to 4.
And people don't understand
alto.
how hard
Yeah.
that is.
Oh yeah, it's a lot because you're stacking and you're literally trying to nail each one. And I'm one of those
And
that don't like
without
to,
changing
without changing how you do it.
exactly.
For example, you could say ABC with a little bit of vibrato on the end, right?
Right.
Or you could say ABC with no vibrato.
Correct.
Those 2 lines when you're stacking, no.
No.
You want to make sure that if you're going to put vibrato on the end, every last one of those have ABC.
And it has to be exact.
So that
On
it'll
point.
be clean.
Oh
A
yeah.
clean vocal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you say how many registers you could, I mean, how many harmonies can you actually, because you said you did about 3 or 4, but how many do you think, because of your range,
Mhm.
do you think you can stack?
I think I can stack, if we were stacking just one like soprano line or alto line or middle in between that tenor or whatever, I think I could probably stack a 6 or more. I can stack as many as needed. I don't prefer to do that because it's going to sound like a big, huge, loud choir. But
Yeah.
if we're doing just typical BGV things where we just want good harmony stuff, it'll be like
Oh, it
3
makes
to
a difference in
4.
the track.
It does.
I mean, it just, you
Yeah.
put it in the right place and
Yeah.
man, that track comes to life.
Yeah, it does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I one day maybe I'd hope to maybe record you.
We'll see, you know.
All right.
We don't
Well,
know.
we might be doing something. All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, guys, as we prepare for our final questions over here, hey, I do want to ask you, I love some like really old soulful music.
Yeah.
Could you sing anything along the lines of like an Etta James or a Ray Charles? Possibly.
Oh, let's
You got
see. Let
something
me
like
think.
that.
I'd
You
rather go
talking about-
blind. You know that one.
I don't know that song. Let's see. I don't think I know that
Somebody
song.
told me.
You
Yeah,
sing
look
it.
at
Come
that.
on,
Look at
do
A
it.
collab duet. It's a
So,
first on
I
the
need to look at the
show.
lyrics. I ain't look at the lyrics here.
It's the Val
I'm
and
trying
Johnny
to
show.
think. I'm trying to
Georgia
think
on
of
My
something
Mind
on
at
this
Last
song.
is a classic.
Georgia.
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 Hey, all right.
I think you're asking the wrong person to sing that. I think he definitely needs to be the one. Let me see. I'm thinking about Aretha and all
Okay.
of them. And then there's there's an old Shaka Khan. You talking about old school like them? Like
Shaka
them
Khan.
ones?
Yeah.
Shaka Khan.
Oh,
And I got one in my head that was
Sade. You like Sade?
I like Sade. I don't know if I know all her words.
We can always come back to it. I'm sure we're going to get some
Let me
shots
think about it. Let me
of
think
you
about some good
singing
stuff.
as well. So
Yeah, let me think
yeah.
about it.
Hey, it's been a pleasure though having the opportunity to have a intimate studio audience here
It has been.
for the
Y'all
live
have been
broadcast. So
amazing.
thank you so much.
All. Thank you.
You are definitely an inspiration. You inspired all of us. I mean, just coming up and musically and just you as a human being, the way you greeted us and the way you just make us feel, the big smile on your face, that's your brand.
Yeah.
And we love your brand.
Thank
We are
you.
sold.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you all as well. It has been a pleasure meeting all of you. It's been a pleasure. Just the invite to be a part of this. This is amazing. Social Plug Media. Thank you all so much. Y'all are incredible. I can't wait to do some more things with y'all.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, we're looking forward to collaborating with you in some capacity.
Yeah.
And just highlighting you and telling everybody the greatness that you have as well.
Thank you.
Because we love highlighting ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and you're
Yeah.
definitely doing a lot of extraordinary things.
Thank you.
So bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
So Val, we can find you. We can find you at Northeast Bible Church.
Yes.
On Sundays
Yes.
and when else?
Yes, so you can, if you ever want to come visit my church, I love my church, Northeast Bible Church in Garden Ridge, Texas. You can also find me, if you just follow my social media pages, there will be posts that share where I'm singing at from week to week, or like whatever weeks that I am singing, that'll always be posted. So you can go to either of my Facebook pages, Valerie T Webb, or either the Val T Webb page. Instagram is going to be at Val T Webb. TikTok is at Val T Webb.
So you got a TikTok as well.
Yeah, it's not, I haven't given it as much love, but I think my Facebooks and my Instagrams are the ones. Yeah,
and Instagram as well.
Yes.
Very awesome. So we're gonna follow you. The audience is gonna follow you, and the rest of you Brownfuls is gonna make sure we follow you as well.
Thank you.
So thank you for being a gracious guest.
Thank you.
Like I said, we look forward to watching you and even go beyond The Voice.
Thank you so much.
Just be part of our lives. So we appreciate you. So the rest of you live audience, we appreciate you. We thank you for coming out today. It's been a pleasure, an absolute honor for your support. And you guys, the value is very, very high with this group here, as you can tell.
Yeah.
And so they are very influential as my life as well.
Mhm.
So thank you guys. Those watching, taking the time out to watch Val T Webb and myself just discuss is very great as well. So we thank you. So continue liking our pages, following us, sharing our story and our journey as well.
Yes.
Follow us on socialplugmedia.net. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and we're on Facebook as well. So thank you guys. We look forward to collaborating with you more and all of you. So you are now unplugged from the Social Plug podcast, where we connect you to level up, and we will talk to you soon. We love you guys.
That was fun.